I'm from DropThought. My name is Dhawal Gusain, and I head the business development and strategy. Along with me, I also have AJ. He's a CTO co-founder. I have Paul from a product team, and I don't see Eric right now, but he's from the marketing team. He's right at the back. So first of all, thank you all for having us here, for the organizers as well as the sponsors for the event. Before I dwell into the presentation, just wanted to quickly check with you that how often or how many times when you have been out in a restaurant, in a fitness center, that you really had a good or a bad experience and you really wanted to vent it out to the management, that this is what it is, their intent. Can I see a quick show of hands? Never. That's surprising, sir. But I'll keep you in mind from user testing perspective. Exactly, I mean, so many of you have the experience, and so did I, as well as other people who started this company. And pretty much in a nutshell, what we do is we improve consumer experience instantly. Or put it slightly differently, we are an end-to-end consumer experience management SaaS solution leveraging advanced big data semantic analysis. So I think that's for the people who are more tech prone. Luckily for you, that's where my tech part ends, and I'll make the thing very simple after that. So firstly, when we are talking about instant feedback, what do we mean by that? In essence, our surveys are a great tool to collect voice of customer data, but sometimes what happens is if you get a survey rating as a manager of a 2 versus 3, it's very difficult for you to understand what was right or what was wrong, what brought the rating up or down. Hence, we came to the conclusion that it's the comment from the user that makes it actionable. And hence, all our interfaces always focus on the comment piece. Now, literally what you're seeing on the screen is something, this is how it looks like on the device. It's pretty much the focus is always on the comment with 1 or 2 high-level questions as needed. And pretty much the ease of the interface when this is presented inspires the consumer to leave the instant feedback. Now, how do we ensure that this feedback is collected at the point of experience, when you are emotionally engaged with a particular restaurant, food, or wherever you are? So we have a whole suite of products. So essentially what you are seeing on the left side are the devices-based solutions. So in essence, these devices are standard Android devices, which you can either mount on a kiosk or a tabletop or can be presented within a binder. And these are pretty much used in settings like, let's say if you're in a restaurant or in a fitness center or a hotel lobby and so on and so forth. We also have hardware agnostic solutions. So we have a mobile app that you can download on your Apple or Android phone. We also have a text messaging functionality. We do QR codes as well. And we can also be a web widget on the web pages of our customers, which are our business clients, as well as the consumer apps. So in a nutshell, a very simple interface and the different ways through which we can launch that interface. It ensures that we get anywhere between 10 to 100 times as much consumer data as collected by public review sites like Yelp or TripAdvisor or survey companies, which are post-experience. So I think that's where the big data part comes in. Now switching gears slightly, so once the feedback is left, so for instance, if you leave a feedback on this device, it will automatically generate an alert on my mobile phone. And I'm here the manager of the business premise. So for instance, if you had a bad experience, you didn't like the pasta at all, and you said like, I had a very bad experience and gave an awful feedback, it immediately triggers an alert on my mobile phone. So I'll get an alert here itself. Sorry, I can't do a demo right now, but this is how the algorithm works. And that enables the manager to resolve the issue even before the customer has left the premises. So that's the actionability perspective of it. And even if the customer has left, but they have left their email ID, the manager can respond even from the mobile app to what the problem was and resolve the issue. So this is the first aspect. Now we graduate a little bit. So here we come through our management dashboards, and I'll show you a more detailed demo of how it looks like, but pretty much these management dashboards are extremely user-friendly and engaging. And in a nutshell, what you can see is how your data has been trending in the past. It also allows you to respond to the feedback, much like what you can do from a mobile phone. You can seamlessly market the positive feedback on social media through this dashboard, and as well as forward it to other people in your organization in case who need to resolve that particular problem or need to be informed of it. Oh, sorry. So let me make it fast. So, sorry for that. So just 2 minutes, can I just show? So literally this is how the social media marketing looks like. This is the advanced text analytics that we can power using NLP. And pretty much these are the verticals we are operating in. So it's an end user management platform applicable across. So with that, I'll open the floor in case you have any questions.
Can you make sure to also repeat the questions?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, so I don't want it to be another Yelp. So for me, there's not much value once I leave the premises, then it's you versus Yelp. So what can you really do for me when I'm inside the restaurant?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, the core premise was based on the fact that this is a private Yelp for enterprises. So let me repeat the question. Sorry, I forgot that. So the question was, from a consumer standpoint, once the consumer has left the premises, how do I ensure that the consumer does not go on Yelp? Is that the question?
No, I don't care about Yelp. I want my experience in the hotel or in the restaurant. While I'm there, I want it to be resolved, right?
Right.
So I normally do that sometimes I don't do it. I mean, it's confrontational to talk to the manager. So how do you address that in a better way than what I tend to do by myself today?
So absolutely. So I think the question is more like because you are hesitant to confront the management, even if you have a negative review, and that's the reason why you oftentimes do not give the feedback. If I understand it correctly.
Yeah, I don't want to take up all your time.
Okay,
yeah,
sure. So let me just answer. You have asked all the right questions. So in a nutshell, what happens is because of an interface like this, it is done in the privacy of your setting. So honestly, like people who don't like to confront somebody else in person, they can seamlessly do here. And literally, you don't have to confront. You just have to say what your experience is. And in case the management gets an alert immediately, so they will come with the factor of resolving it, not exactly confronting you. The other factor is the whole act of just giving the feedback and knowing that somebody is listening kind of mitigates the impact of the negative experience that you had. And obviously, the one key aspect of this solution is that the management has to take the onus of responding, reaching out to you, and fixing the issue. Now, in terms of, does that answer your question, sir?
Yeah. How do you close the loop, though? What do you do on your end to make sure that happens?
So what we do on our end, and sorry, I can't demonstrate you on this. So even in the manager app, if you have left the feedback, it will constantly keep reminding the manager that these many feedbacks have not been responded to. And we have a functionality to do that. In a nutshell, what we also do, we present reports every week on a weekly cadence, telling senior management of how many feedbacks were responded to and who are the people who left, who are the managers who have not responded to it. Next question.
What types of companies are you targeting as your primary market?
So the question is what kind of companies we are targeting as our primary verticals. So essentially this is an end user experience which is applicable in any place where a service is involved. So right now we are working with some of the marquee brands in hospitality, in fitness, in airlines, in retail, and we are also expanding in education and healthcare. Because of the regulatory changes in both education and healthcare, patient experience and student experience have become critically important. So.
Yeah, you're basically mostly on giving text feedback, but your input is a touch screen. That seems to be an impediment for any significant text feedback.
Could you repeat it, sir, once?
You're based it almost entirely on comments. So comments, but your input is a touch screen, which is difficult to leave comments.
No, that's a great point, sir. So I think with the advent of technology, I think it's much more seamless now to leave a text comment on a touch screen. So for instance, what I'm holding right in front of you, you can play with it if you like to, is a pretty seamless text interface. And if you try to give a comment on this, probably it will be almost similar to using a keyboard. Similarly, even in the iPhone, the feedback is improving. I understand where you're coming from, sir, but honestly, with the technology advent, I think that part is improving. For the people who are less smartphone savvy, who still believe in the text messaging, we also have the functionality to do that as well.
Well, that doesn't really help either, because usually the text message would be on your own device, which typically also a touchscreen, but a smaller one. So if you're gonna have a kiosk arrangement, you really should have a keyboard, a physical keyboard.
Oh, that's totally doable. So for some of our clients where there is a need, so for instance in healthcare, where it's actually a need to put a keyboard for people to engage seamlessly, we can install a keyboard on the kiosk itself. So that's totally doable. It's obviously a little bit more expensive solution, but because you require additional piece of hardware, but that's totally doable.
Okay, I think that's it for our questions. Dhawal, you'll be here after in case people have
Yes.
questions during networking.
So I will be here along with AJ, Paul, and Eric, and please feel free to reach out to us for any questions. Thank you so much.